It's time for another round of live Buffalo Bills 7-round mock draft simulations, this time with trades, today on Locked On Bills.
You are Locked On Bills, your daily Buffalo Bills podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Bills Mafia? It's Joe Marino from the Draft Network, and I'm your host of Locked On Bills. Happy Friday to you, and thank you for making Locked On Bills your first listen every day, or if you're joining us on the YouTube channel, your first watch every day. As has become our tradition here over the last couple of weeks, on Fridays we've been doing some live mock draft simulations, and we're going to do that today. Of course, using the mock draft simulator at thedraftnetwork.com. But we are going to do things a little bit different this time around because I'm open to doing some trades. And so we might move up, we might move down. We'll see what happens, but it will not be the Bills just sitting there and picking at every selection. We are going to entertain trades this time around. So if you are joining us on YouTube, you will now see the mock draft simulator on your screen. And we are going to have some fun here trying to work through these simulations. So we got the Bills. We're going 7 rounds. We're going to keep it at normal speed. And the reason for that is because we want to trade. And so I want to make sure that we are not rushed, that we can see the board, and we can make good trades if they are presented to us. So we'll get things started. Now, I'll tell you this. I'm not trading away from Andrew Booth at pick 25. And I'm probably not going to trade away from Jamison Williams either. So we'll see if either of them get there. I don't think it's going to happen. Ahmad Gardner just came off the board, and Derek Stingley. Now, the Texans have an offer for us. They want us to move up. They want us to go from 25 to 13, and they want pick 57 and pick 185 in exchange for number 13. Let's do it. Let's move up the board. We're giving away our 2nd-round pick and our 6th-round pick to get this done. Let's see what we can do. Now we're in a completely different ball game here. Now, we own pick 13. The top players on the board: Charles Cross, offensive tackle; Drake London, wide receiver, USC; Jamison Williams out of Alabama; Trevor Penning, Chris Olave; Andrew Booth, of course, is there. If we're moving up to 13, we are going to get ourselves a wide receiver, and we're going to get Jamison Williams. And there's been some rumblings here lately that Jamison Williams could ultimately be a top 10 pick, which makes perfect sense to me. If you've ever watched him play, you understand that this is a different kind of dude. And so the reality of him just falling to number 25 is very unlikely. But I think in every way, Jamison Williams is exactly what this offense needs. He is the guy that has insane speed down the field, and he has the ball skills and the hands to go with it, and he's unbelievable after the catch. So you want a field stretcher, you want a yards after catch guy, you get that in Jamison Williams. Now, let me tell you something about speed and wide receivers. Speed isn't the only thing. If I gave you a list of the top 10 receivers in the history of the NFL in terms of 40-yard dash time at the NFL Scouting Combine, you're not going to see a list of very good players. That's because speed only matters at the position if you know how to run routes and you know how to control your speed to get in and out of breaks and still be deceptive, and you have ball skills and hands so that when you win vertically down the field, you can actually catch the football. If you don't have hands and ball skills and route running ability and you're just fast, then you're just fast. Jamison Williams is a dynamic route runner that knows how to create vertical leverage, and he's unbelievable with the ball in his hands. And we don't even have a 40-yard dash time on him because he has the ACL tear. But I'll tell you what, I don't care. I don't care that we don't have the 40-yard dash time because I'm telling you, this guy is the fastest dude in this draft. Legit 4.2 speed. He's our pick here at number 13. So here's the deal, right? We traded away pick 57. So it's going to be a little bit of time here before we're back on the clock. It's going to be waiting until the 3rd round. So we'll see how this board all comes together. but we're certainly not in position now to trade up. So we're going to see what falls to us when we get to our third round pick. Hopefully we can get a corner that we like. And maybe there's just a really good value. Maybe there's one at linebacker. Maybe there's a good value on the offensive line. We'll see what happens. And so what I'm actually going to do here is, now that we're at pick 57, I'm going to pause this so we can kind of take a look at what player we would have picked. So here at 57, you got some top running backs like Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker are available. The corners are all snatched up. Your top corners available: Cam Taylor, Britt, Alante Taylor. Those guys, none of them fell. Linebackers, Chad Mumma's available. He would have been interesting at 57. But I feel pretty comfortable about this. Now, yeah, we gave up something, but we got something as well. So we will sleep good at night knowing that we have Jamison Williams, even though it came at the expense of pick number 57. So we're patiently waiting for our next chance. So we got offered a deal here. Got offered a really crazy deal. The Detroit Lions want 89, 130, and 168 for 66 and 177. I am going to pass on that. We're going to decline that deal. Got offered another trade here. We got offered, they want 89 and 130, and we get pick 67, the New York Jets. That seems interesting to me, but I still feel like I need that fourth round pick to get myself either a meaningful developmental interior offensive lineman or a running back. And I'm not willing to trade away from this pick right now. I'm not willing to trade away from that fourth round pick, because I still want to come away with a corner, a running back, and an interior offensive lineman that I like. And I just feel like I need 130 to get that done. So we're not going to accept that trade. So let's see what happens. We're still rolling along here. More trades are being offered to us. 72 and 153 from Seattle in exchange for 89, 130, and 168. So we move up from 89 to 72. We move back from 130 to 153, and we also part with 168. I'm good. We're going to pass on that one too. Their trades keep moving in. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not even going to read this off because I don't want it. Falcons. See, now this is a little bit more reasonable. We go from 89 to 74, and we give up 203. I'll take that. I will take that deal. So now we're on the clock, and Dylan Parham is there from Memphis. That's going to be impossible for me to not pick, I'll be honest with you. Let me see if there's a corner that I like. See, the corners went fast here. So we're going to go ahead and pick interior offensive lineman Dylan Parham from Memphis. You guys have heard me talk about him several times. I think he's a total stud. A player that I think could very naturally back up Roger Saffold this year and take over for him next year and give you a guy that has a chance to be an above-average starter. One of my favorite players in the draft. Super athletic, physical. He's got good size. 4-year starter at Memphis. Great story. A guy that went to Memphis to play tight end, kicked over to offensive line, played multiple spots, and really had an outstanding career for himself. So far, we've traded up twice. Jamison Williams, wide receiver, Alabama. Dylan Parham, interior offensive lineman from Memphis at 74. We have another offer here where we own pick 130, and the Browns are offering us 118 in exchange for 130 and 231. I'll be honest with you, I'm taking that deal. We're going to trade up again. Now, we don't have a whole lot of draft picks left because we keep moving up, but I feel like we position ourselves to get some meaningful assets here. So let's see if there's a corner we can get that I like. We've got some interesting options here. In particular, Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati, who I think very much is a scheme fit. This is the type of player that I think checks a lot of the boxes the Bills are looking for. Zone coverage awareness, tackling ability, length, okay athlete. We're going to go ahead and make him our pick here. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think he would have gotten to, I think like 130 was the pick. So I'm comfortable moving up the 12 spots, giving up a 7, and making sure that we get a corner that we like. So let's see what picks we have left here, because I traded a lot. we've got a 5th-round pick, 168. So we are going to let this roll. And we're only going to come away with 4 players from this draft. Our pick at 168 will probably be a running back. So we will be patient here until it is our turn. Let's see here. We're getting closer and closer. 168 is our next pick. It's at 155. I'm going to pause it real quick. Just kind of get a feel for what's on the board. Running back, Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler's a great pick here if he gets there. So we'll resume the draft. And here we are. We got offered a trade. We're not going to take any trades. Here we go. 168. Turn in the card. Ty Chandler out of North Carolina. I think he's an awesome fit. A guy with some athleticism. Good pass catcher. Has some kick return ability. Gives you that foot fire that you're looking for in the backfield. So I think he's exactly what the Bills are looking for at the running back position. So, hey, we traded up a bunch, but we went and got our guys. We're only going to have 4 picks, but we have Jamison Williams to be a big-time factor for the offense for years to come. And Dylan Parham, who I think is a year 2 starter at guard, high-quality type upside. Kobe Bryant, who is an experienced player out of Cincinnati that checks the boxes we typically see the Bills prefer in their corners. And then running back Ty Chandler, who has pass-catching upside, kick return ability, and speed. He's a 4-3 guy. So I really like how this came together. Only 4 players, but we did pretty well for ourselves, and we'll do another one of these simulations. But first, I need to tell you guys about betonline.net. It's your number one source for all of your sports betting needs and info. You can find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action, because BetOnline is where the game starts. So we are going to end this mock draft simulation and start a new one. That was fun. So we're back to the draftnetwork.com. We're going to start a mock draft, picking the Bills. We'll see if this time around we kind of take a different approach, and instead of trading up, maybe we go the other way and we trade back and then use some of that ammunition that we gained to move up. But of course, we never trade away from Andrew Booth. So we're going to start this draft. We're going to do another one here on a Friday, usher in the weekend as the time ticks away to the 2022 NFL Draft. Sauce Gardner comes off the board at 9. Derek Stingley is gone at 13 to the Houston Texans. Jamison Williams gone at 16 to the New Orleans Saints. Andrew Booth off the board at 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it didn't work out, folks. He didn't fall to us, but he's getting closer and closer. Here's an interesting trade. I'm going to take this for sure. So we trade from 25 to 44 with the Cleveland Browns. We also gain pick 78. So we gain a 2 and a 3 for 25. We'll accept that. We'll trade away from this pick. We're not going to get the corner we like. We're not going to get the wide receiver we like. We're willing to wait. We're going to trust the depth of this class, not reach for anything, gain some ammunition, and make a pick here at 44. Let's see what's on the clock here. We're on the clock, not taking any deals. So we have Breece Hall, running back, Iowa State. Tyler Smith, guard from Tulsa. Tariq Wolin out of UTSA, who I think would be a major fit for the Bills in terms of what they like. Wide receivers, we got Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. Linebacker, Chad Mumma is on the board. A lot of good options here. So we just did a scenario where we took a wide receiver. So I think Christian Watson will be a wonderful fit. But let's do one where we don't pick a wide receiver. Let's do one here where we pick a cornerback first. So let's make Tariq Wolin the pick here out of UTSA. You guys have heard me talk about him quite a bit. He is a converted wide receiver. He made the switch back in 2019, 2-year starter, part of the first ever conference championship team at UTSA, goes to the combine, runs like a 4.2, has crazy long arms, unbelievable speed and explosiveness, and he's pretty raw in coverage, but this is exactly the type of player we've seen the Bills draft in the past, where They bet on traits. And I've met Tariq Wolin, had him on Draft Dudes, hung out with him at the Combine. He is wired the right way. He loves football, and I think he would fit really well with the culture the Bills have established. So I really like being able to get him. And the exciting thing is we still have pick 57. So we're going to get another player here. I'm declining these trades that are getting offered because I want to sit here at 57 and come away with my second round pick. This is actually a reasonable trade here. We go from 57 to 53 and we give up 185. Should we take that? Let's take it. So we traded up a little bit, and let's see what's on the board for us. Breece Hall, running back, is still there. Kenneth Walker, running back, is still there. Wide receivers, David Bell, George Pickens, John Mechie, Calvin Austin. I think what I'm going to do is I like a lot of these receivers. I think I'm going to try to trade up from 89 to see if maybe we can get Calvin Austin. Predictively, I feel like the Bills are really thinking about taking a linebacker. Chad Mumma really stands out to me, but we still have the top running backs here. We could pick Kenneth Walker right here. It's a running back. I'm going to pick Chad Mumma. And this really stems from some conversations we've had on this podcast yesterday, literally, where I talked about maybe the Bills want to play some more 3 linebacker stuff. Maybe they will move on from Tremaine Edmonds. Chad Mumma is a very natural player to take over. Good size, athleticism, good processor, really good at deconstructing blocks and playing downhill. I think he's the type of player the Bills are going to love. So let's make him the pick here at number 53. Now, like I said, I do want to trade up for Calvin Austin. So I have it paused, and I want to wait as long as possible to trade up, but I also don't want to miss out. And look at this. We just got offered a deal. We're going to take this deal. This is going to get us Calvin Austin. We're going to trade away 78 and 168 for 63. Accept the deal, and Calvin Austin is ours. And what Calvin Austin, the third from Memphis, brings to this football team is yards after catch, route running, vertical receiving skill, and he can punt return. And that should make everybody happy because you get a lot in this package. You get a lot. And we still have pick 89 left to go. So we might do this. We can give up 89 and 130 to get to 65. Let's do that because we could still get a top running back. I like how this is coming together quite a bit. So we've done some wheeling and dealing. And it's really created exactly what I'm talking about, where if you trade back like we did, we have the ammunition to move up and go get our guys. And so we're going to turn in the card here for, I like Isaiah Spiller. You know he's my RB1. We're going to pick him. Isaiah Spiller is dynamic in terms of vision, contact balance, good in pass protection, baseline receiving skill set. He has the ability to really take something off of Josh Allen in terms of short yardage carries and making teams pay for giving the Bills light boxes. The Bills can run spread formations to put teams in sub. Isaiah Spiller is your running back, and he can navigate those spaces, and you could run the football and really make teams pay for going light boxes against you. Isaiah Spiller is the pick here, running back out of Texas A&M. I'm really happy with that. Maybe you're not. Maybe you wished I picked Breece Hall. And I'll tell you what, Breece Hall is more explosive. Breece Hall has more upside in the passing game. Breece Hall has really good open field vision. But I think the two most important traits in a running back are vision and contact balance. And Isaiah Spiller is superior to Breece Hall, in my opinion. I just feel like Breece Hall has a challenging time negotiating, pressing the line of scrimmage, manipulating the second level, and working to his spots and anticipating creases. I think Isaiah Spiller just has him in that category. And so that's something that I'm willing to trade off. I'm willing to trade off some speed for a guy that has the ability to find creases better. So I need to take some inventory here on what picks I have left. So we have 203 and 231. So we're going to be waiting a minute for our next pick. And so while we wait, let me tell you guys about Built Bar. It's the best tasting protein bar on the planet. We talk about Built Bars all the time, but have you tried the Puffs? If you haven't, then you're missing out on one of Built Bar's best tasting bars. Puffs are the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. They're fluffy. They're marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar. They're a treat, and they're covered in 100% real chocolate because all Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, and they are good for you. They're low-calorie, high-protein. They don't have much sugar, only 4 grams of sugar, 17 grams of protein. They are terrific for you. They taste great. They have so many great flavors, mint brownie, coconut, raspberry. New flavors are coming out all the time, so make sure you check out Built.com often. And at Built, it's all about taste. They make it taste great first, then they figure out how to make it healthy, and I don't know how they do it, but they pull it off every single time. Got a deal for you? Go to Built.com. Use our promo code LOCKED15. You'll get 15% off your next order. Again, that's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. All right, so while we were waiting there, we made a pick. We went with Charleston Rambo, wide receiver out of Miami. And we doubled down at wide receiver because Charleston Rambo, I think, has the opportunity to be a really outstanding special teams player. I think he's a phenomenal blocker. And he's a guy that I think has the ability to win down the field as a true outside player. So wide receiver, Charleston Rambo out of Miami at 203. And now we're back up here again at 231 for our final pick. Would love to get a developmental offensive lineman that I like. However, it's pick, 231? We're probably not going to find one that I like very much. Let's see if there's any other good values on the board. Slim pickings here at the end of the draft. The player that I like, though, I do like Gene DeLance out of Florida. He had really good tape against Alabama, particularly against Will Anderson, who's going to be the first non-quarterback drafted next year. And he's got good length, and I think he's a sleeper. So we're going to make him the pick here out of Florida. So the way this one came together, and it comes with a lot of trades, we traded back and got Tariq Wolin out of UTSA at pick 44. At 53, we got Chad Mumma, the linebacker from Wyoming. At 63, Calvin Austin III, wide receiver, Memphis. 65, Isaiah Spiller, running back, Texas A&M. 203, Charleston Rambo, wide receiver, Miami. And Gene DeLance, offensive tackle from Florida. I like how that came together. So 2 really different looking scenarios. One time we only had 4 picks. The next time we have 6 picks, but it came with a lot of trades. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to show some different scenarios that involved the Bills making trades. And I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. And that's the whole point of mock drafts. It's presenting scenarios. It's working through ideas. It's a thought exercise. So maybe you're sitting here thinking, Joe, that wasn't realistic. It's a mock draft. It's a thought exercise. We're presenting scenarios. We talked about targets. We did some different things. So I had fun. I certainly hope you had fun. We'll probably do this again one more time next week, and I'll find a fun way to put a spin on it. And, we're anticipating getting Brandon Beane next week for his pre-draft press conference. So, that'll help us gain some perspective. We'll also have all of the 30 visits that the Bills have. You can invite 30 players to your facility to come in and bring them in for a private visit. So we'll have that full list of players. So we'll definitely have a little bit more perspective on everything next week when we do this. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a great week on the podcast next week. I have a lot planned to help put the finishing touches on our preparations for the 2022 NFL draft. Including next week, you'll get my Bills-specific big board. So we got that. We got mock drafts. We've got herd mentality. We got Brandon Beane's press conference. So a big week ahead of us. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss anything. Would love it if you took a second to rate, review, and share the podcast. Enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to catching up with you again on Monday.